Hey Birchouse friends, welcome back. So this week's question comes from Riley Bokum, who asks, "Hey Birchouse, how do you get the wood so smooth?" Um, Riley, this is a really easy question, a really good question, but really easy. Sandpaper, lots and lots of sandpaper. Um, Virtually everything that we make here at Birchouse Workshop is has some degree of hand sanding to it, especially at the end of it of the work. When I'm finishing up, there's gonna be a lot of hand sanding. I do have an orbital sander, uh, and I'll usually kick things off with that orbital sander, but then it's coming in and using lots and lots of sandpaper and hand sanding virtually everything. Now, to get it so smooth, you take your sandpaper and you go down in what are called grits. So the lower the number, the coarser, the rougher the sandpaper is. And so I usually start off around 80 or 60, and then I'll work my way down to 2000 grit. And that gives that really smooth finish on the wood. Now, as an interesting side note, we used to make our weapon handles very smooth. Our spears, our axes, our throwing spears, things like that, used to make the wood really smooth. And there was a video by Matt Easton, and I'll try and find it and link it if I can. But he was talking about throwing spears and that there was some evidence that throwing spears had rougher handles, so you had a little more, you could get a little more grip, a little more purchase on that throwing spear, and the friction of your hand against that throwing spear let you throw it harder and faster. Things like this Greek peltas spear. So what we have started doing since having that evidence presented, our weapon handles now don't go so low on the grit scale, and our handles are a little rougher now. Still very smooth, but now I think I take them down to 220, and I kind of max out 220, and that way our weapon handles have a little more friction, and so you get a little more purchase to use those weapons more effectively. So that's just an interesting little side note about sanding and when it comes to weapon building. Things like our artwork, like our shelf cats, our shelf dogs, our kodama, things of that nature, are always going to get sand down that 2000 grit, so they feel really silky smooth in the hand. So Riley, that was a great question. Thank you so much for asking. Let's draw a question for next week. Let's see here. And next week's question comes from Emily Baldridge. So if you ever have a question for Birchouse, comment below with "Hey Birchouse, ask," and we'll answer it in a future video. In the meantime, we'll see you all next Wednesday.
Welcome to Birchouse, where history meets art with due diligence.